In this session, let's look at extended program check, which allows you to look at a few more things apart from what is already displayed in the code inspector. To perform an extended program check, you again go to this program menu, check, extended program check, and here you can select different options that you can check against. And if in our company policy, if you have this policy that we should not be using any obsolete statements, because SAP itself doesn't restrict you from using these obsolete statements. Something like if you are using internal tables with header lines, which is obsolete, then if I want to identify if your program contains any of those obsolete statements, I can set this option also and run checks. Then it will perform these checks, and ideally again you should have 0 errors and 0 warnings. So here there's one warning, field attributes. It says no reads performed on internal table. So I'm using an internal table, I'm selecting the data into an internal table, which will cost some CPU and memory, but I'm not using that internal table anywhere in my program. So it is giving me a warning. So if you're not using it, why select the data in the first place? That way you can save some time in the performance. So like that, it is showing me different information. So if I use any obsolete statements, that will appear here. If you have any problematic statements, such as statements that may result in runtime errors. So for example, if you are dynamically handling something, but if you are not catching any exceptions, which can cause a runtime, then those statements will appear under problematic statements. Then if you are processing any language specific content, then if you're not maintaining translations, then it will show under internationalization. So like that, it will show different issues related to different programs. Similarly, if there are any issues with your interface, for example, if you are using untyped parameters, or if you are passing incompatible parameters, then it will display under this form interfaces or function module interfaces. And if you are using authorization objects to check for authorizations, and if you are missing certain key parameters for the authorization objects, those comes under here. So like that, based on different things, it will check all of that and give you a bigger picture about the issues your program may be having, or the issues your code might be having. Again, before you send this code for review, you have to ensure that there are 0 errors under extended program check. So if it shows different messages, errors or warnings, and if you want to display all the results of the check, you click on this display all results button, and it will display all of the issues in your code. So this is something you will understand on your own, self-explanatory. So I'm just trying to show you these checks that you typically perform. So every time, once you complete developing your program, quickly run this check and see if it shows any errors or warnings. And based on the error, you can diagnose the problem accordingly. Okay. So that's about your extended program check. See you in the next session.